What's going on, guys? Welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick, as always. I tell you what, the summer had been absolutely beautiful weather-wise, and even though I'm reviewing a very, very big beer tonight, it gets cool at night now. We're at the end of August. The temperatures during the day here are still in the mid to high 80s, but at night you start getting that kind of fall-like air. And it's really been nice. So we're going to review a very big beer tonight with that cool fall air coming in the window. This is a special beer that was sent to me by my good buddy Wade almost a year ago, I want to say, maybe a little less. And this will be review number 95 as you're watching it right now. We're nearing 100 finally, and number 99 and 100 are already been shot a long time ago. Very special beers. And number 100 was also sent to me by Wade. So Wade sent me some very amazing beers in the past, and this one I have never had. I've been saving it for a special occasion. At this point, guys, I'm getting to the point where I'm opening my special beers. There's no need for a special occasion. It is literally, I think, 12:30 a.m. on a Monday night, Tuesday morning now, and I'm opening this beer because I want to, and because I want to enjoy these special beers while they're still special. So, as I said, I've never had this one before. Obviously, you know what it is by the title. So, Kuhnhenn, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Kuhnhenn. I've never had any beers by them. And Wade sent me 3. This will be the first one I try out of them. This is on BeerAdvocate the number 1 rated old ale in its category. That's very, very cool. Now, I try to do a little research on old ales because I don't really know the difference between an old ale and an English barley wine. It seems that everyone's in agreement sort of that it's basically the same style. Maybe a couple minor differences that I'm not qualified to talk about because I don't really know. But as far as I understand, English barley wines and old ales walk a very fine line together. And I think from what I read that typically in the past, old ales were traditionally lower alcohol than English barley wines. Obviously, this beer is an exception to the rule. This beer comes in at 13.5%, and for an old ale, that's pretty damn strong. Why it's exactly an old ale, I don't know. Maybe somebody with more knowledge can enlighten us on this. But anyways, guys, yeah, this one is the Kuhnhenn Bourbon Barrel Aged 4th Dementia Old Ale. 13.5%, so it's a huge beer. This one is the 2012 vintage, it says it right there. So I'm assuming this has been an annual release for quite a while. I think BeerAdvocate said it was added in like 2006, so these guys have been around for a long time. I don't know how many years it's been bottled, but this is the 2012 version for whatever that's worth. And it says in the back, 4th D is aged for a minimum of 9 months before being released, obviously in bourbon barrels. This ale has an intense sweet caramel malt flavor and aroma that develops into a toffee/toasted marshmallow-like character. Serve at 45 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And they got a picture of a tulip glass snifter type thing in the back. I've had this out on the table from the fridge for about 45 minutes. I think this thing's going to be ready to go here. Without further ado, let's get into the Bourbon Barrel 4th Dementia. Alright, so we got the Bourbon Barrel 4th Dementia poured, and I poured it pretty good. I mean, I stopped it right where the kind of the globs of yeast that were at the bottom were coming out. So this is a nice clean pour, which I always like with aged beers. You don't want to get a ton of sediment and gross stuff in there. So nice clean pour out of this, and holding it up to the light, I mean, this thing is bordering on black. It's basically black. Maybe some just burgundy colors in there, but really, really dark. Yeah, it looks like a huge beer. Obviously no head to speak of, 13.5%. it just fizzed right out. I mean, it's a light tan ring around it. And I do actually see a good amount of carbonation actually streaming up on the side of the glass here. Obviously still well carbonated. Temperature on this is perfect. It's like a little bit more than cellar temp right now. So we're going to go right into it, guys. Let's get the aroma on this beer. Oh, man, that's fucking amazing. Thank you so much, Wade. Honestly, the beer that comes to mind is King Henry. It just has that English barley wine, everything about it. Just, I mean, it's unbelievable. Huge caramel toffee. I mean, I know it says it on the bottle, but that's exactly what it is. Huge caramel toffee, followed by like chocolate, just like dark chocolate, dark fruits, bourbon-soaked raisins, plums. Absolutely not a trace of alcohol for 13.5%. And as I said, it's like cellar temp, and you're still not getting alcohol. Just like burnt caramel, burnt brown, like burnt sugar, caramelized sugar. And the dark fruits and chocolate and the caramel and toffee, and it's like a dessert in a glass. It's absolutely incredible. And I don't want to leave out the bourbon either. The bourbon is playing off all those other flavors that you're in the aroma so well. It's playing off that caramel toffee, the dark fruits. It's just like a slight kind of, like, you know, it's been aged in bourbon for a good amount of time, but it doesn't come off as like harsh. It just kind of melds in with all the other aromas. But holy crap, guys! I haven't smelled I want to say English barley wine, but I haven't smelled a beer like this since probably King Henry, and it does have some similarities to like Bourbon County barley wine. That's a very good comparison, actually. Bourbon County barley wine, Bourbon County kind of thing. Let's get a sip on this, guys. Very special. Cheers. Thanks, Wade. Oh, man. This is a special beer. And wow, that is a big, big fucking beer. Holy shit. Talk about a mouthfeel. Talk about a mouthful. Holy crap. Wow, it's so sticky too. In my opinion, one of the best things about a beer like this, or any beer that's just so well made, is when the aroma matches the flavor matches the aroma. It just makes the whole experience come together for me. I think if, you know, when you smell a beer, you get excited about it. You know, you're already imagining what it's going to taste like. And then when the taste comes through, that just makes the complete package for me. Everything in the aroma that I talked about. Right up front, huge pop of sweetness, like brown sugar. It's just molasses, kind of caramel, toffee, bourbon, chocolate, just everything. The dark fruits, the plums, the raisins sort of in the back end, bourbon-soaked raisins. The mouthfeel on this, guys, oh my god, it's so like big and luscious, and like it's viscous. It coats your mouth. And what's nice too is that the carbonation, it's not overly carbonated, but it's enough carbonation that kind of moves the beer across your palate, because this thing is a beast when you take your first sip. It's like, really, you have to like stop yourself for a second and think about it. It's an extreme beer. I love that the flavors aren't half-assed. They're not muted. The body isn't watery, nothing like that. It's just so extreme that it really takes you aback for a second and goes, wow, you know, makes you go, wow. You just don't find beers like this on the shelf. I mean, quite frankly, you just can't. This is something so freaking well made. I can understand, you know, how it's so highly rated, how it's so sought after. Wow. That's all I can keep saying is wow. If you like big, viscous, like chewy, you know, very dessert-like kind of beers, English barley wines, you know, anything like that, you're gonna love this beer. You know, the nice thing about it is you don't taste the alcohol. And for 13.5%, that's extremely impressive. I mean, I've taken a few sips now. I don't get any alcohol. There's just so much intense flavor going on that you can't find the alcohol, even if you're searching for it. You know, you're just inundated with all the things I already spoke about. But yeah, it's just an absolute treat, and I think that's the best word. I mean, it's decadent. You do, however, need to like sweeter beers. This is sweet. It's not cloying, but it's definitely sweet. And it kind of needs to be for that 13.5% again. You know, it's a dessert beer. It's one to be definitely to be sipped, to be savored. I'm drinking this all alone, but I know I would prefer to share it with somebody, but I'm going to enjoy every sip of this to the last drop, guys. This is absolutely magnificent. You know, as I was saying before, it smells in like King Henry and Bourbon County barley wine. Bourbon County barley wine doesn't even come close to this, and that's an amazing beer. This is definitely up to the level of King Henry, in my opinion. I think King Henry might have just had more over-the-top chocolate notes, maybe, I don't know, but this is just, I mean, if you're going to compare it to something like Sukaba blows that away too. I mean, I just, this is the best old ale I've ever had, / English barley wine. It's definitely up there with King Henry for me. Alright guys, so for the Kuhnhenn Bourbon Barrel 4th Dementia, this is just an absolute treat. It's one of the tastiest things I've had in a while, especially for a darker beer. I mean, yeah, I've taken a few sips. I'm already starting to feel it. This thing is definitely 13.5%, and it is scary drinkable. It is just an absolute treat. You really do need to like bigger, fuller beers. Obviously, this is very rich. It's very complex. It's on the sweeter side, definitely not too sweet. It does not go into cloying at all. It's a dessert beer through and through. I mean, it's bourbon, it's chocolate, it's bourbon soaked figs, raisins, plums, dark chocolate, vanilla. The oak is starting to come out now too. As it warms, it's actually like really almost room temp now, and it's just absolutely delicious. And I'm still no trace of the 13.5%, which again is very sneaky. So be careful. Do not drink a bottle of this and then go out in the town. You will be fucked up. I can definitely see the toasted marshmallow as it warms. It's like that burnt caramel toffee type thing with the vanilla notes. It definitely is so good. Obviously, guys, this is 100 on BeerAdvocate. It's one of the highest rated beers in the world. It's the highest rated old ale. There's no question it's 100 from me, giving it an A+, 100 perfect. There's nothing to change about this beer. You know, going into it, I had no idea what my expectations were. I've never had anything from this brewery. I don't know what their beers taste like. I don't really know the specifics of an old ale per se. And seeing that this is 2012 and it's 2 years old, also didn't know what to expect. I've never had the base beer, so I have nothing to compare it to. And I mean, they just knocked it out of the park. It reminds me of King Henry. It reminds me of the best sort of English barley wine I've ever had, and that just blew my mind. So this is definitely there in that category, and it's one of those beers that is perfect from head to toe. You know, there's nothing to change about it. Again, you know, the carbonation, the mouthfeel, spot on. The flavors, spot on. And the finish is just, you know, you're still tasting the beer after you swallow. You're getting all the flavors, plus you're getting sort of the sticky, just feeling in your mouth. It's really like each sip's its own like bite of dessert kind of thing. Just fantastic stuff, guys. Gonna leave it at that, and I would honestly love to know what you guys think of this beer. If you've had it from whatever vintage at whatever time, I'd love to know what you think about it. As I said, this is 2 years old, so you know, it seems perfect to me right now. I really can't even imagine what it would be like fresh, if it would be too much. But this one I can't imagine being better than it is right now, because it's not boozy whatsoever. So that's it, guys, for the Kuhnhenn Bourbon Barrel 4th Dementia. Thanks again. We gotta say thanks again to Wade. Dude, awesome, amazing. So review number 95, and you know what's coming up. He knows what's coming up for review 100. I think he's the only one. But until then, guys, I got a couple more reviews. I'll try to pick some really good stuff to put up before the 9900. But thanks for watching. Remember to comment, subscribe, and check out the Facebook page. So until then, I'm going to go enjoy this, and it's going to be delicious. Cheers.